Why is it so hard to see reality for just for what it is on a more objective level? I mean, I guess you have no idea where I'm coming from with this thought, but myself and everybody else around me, we're all in our own little world, right? We're going to work, most of us, and we're doing things that our lives require, and we're probably thinking about that sort of thing. We're not thinking about the fact that we're able to do this, that we're human beings with thoughts and experiences and senses and all these things that make living awesome, right? But we're stuck in this traffic, and we're basically separating ourselves from the whole objective reality, and we're trapped in this subjective little world. And that world comes with all kinds of assumptions on how things work and what's important and what matters. And they don't really have to line up with the actual objective reality. Got another bike behind me. He's probably going to catch me because I'm being pretty lazy about riding this morning. But this subjective world, especially when it comes to religion, this subjective world, when it comes to religion, includes this weird fantasy land of like hopes and dreams and things that don't actually have any observable consequence. I mean, heaven, that's just a bizarre concept. Like, you can't be measured, can't be observed. It's entirely imagined and expected, but it's not a real thing, right? Without the observation part, without the ability to measure it, you basically made it up. And why you keep believing it, I don't know. I mean, because you were told and grew up hearing about it, I guess, right? It was always assumed, so just take it for granted. But that's the type of thing we do with our lives, is we think we understand things to a certain level, and then we stop questioning it. I just feel like if we could acknowledge our existence more readily, more often, we might be happier. You know, instead of constantly look at my surroundings from my little sphere of subjective world view. I ought to be looking at this as a pretty awesome little corner, and this is a really great little day to be jamming around town on my motorcycle, looking at that pretty girl in that car over there. And life is just, this is an experience, right? Acknowledge the experience and be aware that as a hairless monkey, I don't know if monkey is accurate, it's probably ape, think we're part of the great apes, right? Jeez, shit in my throat. This hairless monkey on a motorized machine that, you know, this is only possible. Because the ingenious people that are really separate from most people in the world, right? Everything we have here is because of a handful of people across the millennia have built upon technology and science to give everybody else all this neat stuff. I don't know, you see what I'm saying? Forget about this little shit. Forget about all the things we're complaining about. Forget about the stupid holiday stresses, and forget about, you know, things that bother you. Forget about petty complaints. Just look around you. If you've seen, there's a show called The Getaway. I think it's on Esquire Network. And it's basically Anthony Bourdain's show. I mean, he produced it, but this is with other comedians and celebrities where they'll go someplace in the world and eat and meet people and talk about it. Well, there's one with, I'm never going to remember his real name, but Mos Def. And he goes to, is it Morocco or, I can't remember where he goes. But that dude strikes me as a person who's not taking it for granted. He stopped in the middle of the street, you know, at night. He's like, do you hear that? And he was talking about basically some music that was being played in one of the local establishments, like not music played on radio, but actually physically being played. And his whole episode was full of experiences like that. He said he ran out to the water and wanted to feel the sand in the water in his feet. And that's beautiful, right? If you can do that all the time, I think your life would be full of much more joy. But that's hard to do. How do you keep your brain not falling back into the normal routines of work, sleep, eat, fuck. Work, sleep, eat, fuck. That's kind of a weird order to do things, I guess. But, you know, the saying is true. Stop and smell the flowers. I mean, that's exactly what it's about. Simple pleasures. Hauling ass on your motorcycle.